Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the official real estate numbers for Victoria, comparing exactly what happened in May 2025 to May 2026. To make all these numbers super easy to wrap our heads around, whether you're 5 or 95, we're going to imagine the entire housing market as one giant magical store that just sells houses.
Okay, let's grab a shopping cart and walk right through the front doors of this giant store. You know how sometimes you go to the store and the shelves are totally empty because everyone bought everything up? And other times, the aisles are just packed with stuff to choose from. Well, let's see just how busy our house store is right now.
Section 1. Counting the shoppers, comparing May 2025 to May 2026.
So, if we stand by the exit and count who actually checked out at the register last year, in May 2025, exactly 758 people walked out of our giant store with a brand new house in their cart. That's a pretty busy day at the checkout lane.
But if we look at the exact same time this year, May 2026, that number dropped a little bit. Only 713 people successfully bought a house and walked out the door. So slightly fewer shoppers are checking out.
Section 2. Stocking the shelves and tracking inventory.
Okay, so what happens when slightly fewer people are buying, but the folks stocking the shelves keep bringing out new houses from the back room? Well, the shelves get a lot more crowded. Last May, in 2025, we had 3,717 houses sitting on the shelves. This year, in 2026, that number jumped all the way up to 4,029 houses waiting for a buyer.
And hey, this isn't just a small pileup in aisle 4. The manager of our giant store, Fergus Kine, the chair of the Victoria Real Estate Board, tells us that this is literally the absolute most inventory, the most houses sitting on the shelves that Victoria has seen in 11 whole years. The spring market is fully stocked.
Moving into Section 3. Checking the price tags. Supply versus prices.
Now you might be wondering, when a store has way more items on the shelf but slightly fewer buyers, what happens to the price tags? Like in a regular grocery store, if they have too many apples and nobody is buying them, they slap a massive discount sign on them, right? Let's take a look at the official numbers from the Victoria Real Estate Board to see if our house store is throwing a clearance sale.
Well, here is the big surprise. Last year, in 2025, the benchmark price for a single-family home in the core area was $1,335,500. And this year, it's $1,339,000. It actually went up by a tiny, microscopic bump. Despite all those extra houses crowding the shelves, the price tag held incredibly steady.
Meanwhile, if you were wandering over to the condominium aisle, you'd see a slightly different story. The price tag there actually did get a tiny bit cheaper, dropping from $562,100 down to $551,400. So it's a slight drop for condos, but definitely nothing like a massive everything-must-go clearance sale.
On to Section 4. A perfectly balanced scale. Who has the power?
So you're probably asking, why didn't the prices crash with all those extra houses? Well, to figure out if the store favors the buyers who want a cheap deal or the sellers who want top dollar, we use something called the sales to active listings ratio. Think of it like a giant playground seesaw. If it dips below 17%, buyers have all the power and prices fall. If it jumps above 28%, sellers have the power and prices go up. But right now, we are sitting right in the exact middle. The store is perfectly balanced, which is exactly why those price tags aren't wildly swinging up or down.
And finally, Section 5, the big questions. Looking ahead.
We know exactly what the numbers say today, comparing 2025 to 2026, but looking at these facts leaves us with some absolutely fascinating things to think about. For instance, if you're a buyer and you see the most houses available on the shelves in over a decade, are you going to take your time? Instead of rushing to the register, will you walk the aisles slowly and carefully pick out your absolute favorite? Or on the flip side, what if you're a seller? If you're placing your house on a very crowded shelf right next to hundreds of others, will you feel the need to tweak your price tag just to catch a passing shopper's eye?
So, knowing what we know right now about the numbers, that the shelves are full, the shoppers are slightly fewer, but the prices are holding remarkably steady on a perfectly balanced scale, what would you do if you walked into the giant house store today?